Hello. So this is the second running of the Unpub testimonials that we're doing, and this is so that we can do it for promotional purposes, either for just for the Kickstarter that's upcoming, and also just get some feelings so that we can use these for from everybody that's been to an Unpub event, just getting their idea of how it's gone for them and how it's helped them out. Super helpful, and we have a lot of people with us today, and we'll probably have more that'll pop in during the call, just like the previous one as well. So we're going to jump right in, and the first person I'm going to go to, first on the line, is Ben Pinchback. So first question, Ben, what is your name, and how have you been involved with Unpub?
So I'm Ben Pinchback, co-designer of Fleet and Fleet Arctic Bounty and some other games with Matt Riddle, that guy right there. And our involvement with Unpub was we went to Unpub 4 in Delaware this last January. And we went because we knew a bunch of guys there. We knew Daryl and TC and Kurtman and a bunch of people that were going to be there, so we just thought it'd be a fun time to go hang out and show some games off. And it was actually a lot cooler than we expected, to be honest with you. The feedback we got there was invaluable, and I don't know what I was expecting, but the turnout was exceptional. It was way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and the other designers were amazing, and we're definitely going to go again. I mean, it's going to be a staple for us. We're going to go every year we can now. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what does Unpub mean to you?
Go ahead,
Well,
Matt.
sure. Before Unpub, we were famous designers. Now we're world famous designers. So that's the first. No, honestly, I mean, what it really is that we had the opportunity to, like Ben said, to go to our first Unpub big event. Now we remember the Blue Noodle from 3 years ago or 2 years ago at Origins and Gen-Con before we really knew what it was. So I think the coolest thing about Unpub for us is that we, our time is relatively limited, and we spend about a night a week together designing games. So we don't have the chance to do a lot of the local game design stuff that some guys try to that we'd love to do, like meet other designers. So Unpub gives an opportunity to set aside time to talk to other awesome playtesters and game designers, and just spend an entire weekend doing nothing but playing prototypes, because we like to play real games too, right? So I mean, we don't make our friends play our protos all that often. So Unpub events are a way to really just focus in on design and just hash away and iterate and do it again. So it's good. It's feedback, and it's good feedback.
And you guys are a team, so I mean, how has Unpub? I guess you kind of went over this, but how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
Well, I think to Matt's point, it's a bunch of people that they're other designers that become your friends, and you get to know them well enough that they're not going to just tell you your game's good if it's bad, right? Like, when you're not comfortable with people, you're just going to pat them on the back and tell them that their game is good, regardless of if it is or not. But you get to know the people at Unpub, and the playtesters and the other designers, mostly for me, they get to know you well enough that they can be honest with you and tell you if your game is garbage or if it's good, or if there's one or two things that are worth saving, and it's pretty hard to get that honest, face-to-face feedback from people. So for me, that's the biggest benefit is just people being honest with you, and people you actually really respect, as designers. Their games are on the shelves, you buy them, you own their games, and you really, think they're a great designer, and then they're telling you, hey, these 3 or 4 things are good, but, maybe the game as a whole kind of needs a revamp in this way, and, that kind of feedback you totally respect because, who it's coming from.
I think plus two, it's instant gratification, because, I mean, we've got some really awesome guys that do playtesting for us, guys like Mike Mullins, who a lot of us know, and a guy, a buddy of ours named Jeff, and they're fantastic, but the reality of it is, we'd make a prototype, send them a game, it gets there, 2 months later they played it a couple of times, because they have lives, they're busy. We can't expect them to play our game 5 times in a 2-month period or a 1-month period. Unpub, it's a dedicated event where we know we can get, that same amount of playtest times 3 in all in one weekend or in one night, which is fantastic. So like Ben said, we can, and then also the nice thing too with Unpub is the playtesters that are there that don't know us at all. We're just 2 schlubs. They've got no idea who we are. They can be as mean or as honest as they want because there's no feelings involved. And that's good feedback you can't get all the time. Like Ben said, like I tell TC all this stuff's awesome. I don't like any of it. But the reality of it is, I've never seen it in person. Oh, hi, TC. Hi, bud. And then that's a joke. Is game. But still, seriously, honest, unfiltered feedback is important, and it's a necessary part of game design. And Unpub gives you an opportunity to gather that all in one place in a weekend or in even those mini Unpubs, and it's the best place to get it.
I think that's really good advice. I think that's awesome. And now go away, both of you.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
All right. So yeah. See you. So that was pretty awesome. Then now we have we're gonna go down the line. So we have Brian, who is with us. And Brian, can you tell us what is your name and how have you been involved with Unpub?
Oh, Brian Lenz. I'm one of the co-owners, co-founders of GrandCon Gaming and Comic Convention here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. How I've been involved with Unpub is, of course, originally back in the day, John Muller. Then it evolved into Daryl's lap and yours, and so. With that, I've been a tester. I haven't designed a lot of games, so from the convention standpoint, I kind of come at a different angle. One being a play tester for you guys, giving the honest feedback, and knowing you as friends, I feel a little bit more comfortable delivering that as honestly as I can when playing games. But also from a convention standpoint, Unpub Midwest, which is coming in to Grand Rapids, for our convention the first time. It's an opportunity for other designers locally or globally to be able to make a trip to a venue for a weekend, get together, mingle, show off their ideas or concepts, and have hundreds to thousands of people play their games and get that necessary feedback that you need. I mean, Unpub to me is a wheelhouse of potential greatness or opportunity, for you guys that do design the games and make the games, it's just a unreal and surreal experience that you have to be part of.
Well, then I'm going to skip the "what does Unpub mean to you" question, because you pretty much nailed it there. As an owner of a convention, or at least a convention setter-upper, how has Unpub made your life a little bit easier as a convention owner, or what's the benefit for you?
The benefit, of course, is it draws in designers throughout the area, like I said, whether it be locally or globally. And I see Jason just joined us, and and he's local, and you had Ben and Matt, who are also local as well, and they'll be at GrandCon. But it's a way for us to build friendships and kind of bridge those gaps for the designers in the industry, because maybe not all the time do you have the opportunity to meet certain publishers or certain friends that you would like to meet to help you get things off the ground, to kickstart things, to get ideas on what you need to do. I mean, obviously publishing a game is not an easy task, and especially if it's an expansive game. I have a lot of connections. My business partner, Mark Spector, he and I have made a lot of great friends and family, if you will, in the gaming industry that have allowed us to kind of cater to you guys. And being the convention owner and the spearhead, if you will, the promoter for it, we're bringing you the necessary bodies that you need, if you will, where people love playing games. Why not have them play a game, even if it's not fully polished? Why not play a game and get the honest feedback from many gamers, and they may come up with a concept that's just brilliant, and you're like, you can glean off of that and take that idea and run with it, and that might change your game from going from a possible dud to a stud. So everything the designers would love to hear and see, and that's really kind of my point of being a convention owner, is to bring us together and have a good time with what we love to do. And we're a hybrid convention. I'm donning my shirt right now, but we do both board gaming and comics. So yeah. But so it's nice to have that creativity put in one facility that it's going to be there, and everybody can share that same experience.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I think that's a different perspective we've had. So coming from someone who's running a convention, just having Unpub presence there just helps. So.
I thought
Yeah.
Jason was Daryl, isn't it? Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl. Hey, Daryl Louder. So yeah, Daryl joined us as well. So
I thought
thank
Jason
you, Brian.
Slingerhand popped on, or no?
What'd you say?
I thought Jason Slingerhand popped on. He did not.
I mean, I'll send him. I'm gonna send him another invite now.
Yeah.
He was on for, I think, for a second there, and then fell off. So I'm gonna try to get him on as well. But we've had people I've been sending invitations to popping in and out. So
Right. My phone told me to get here, so.
Exactly, your phone told me. Yeah. So let's go down the line with Derek. Derek, what is your name, and how have you been involved in Unpub?
My name is Derek Vidal. I'm half of Baked Fresh Daily Games. I became involved with Unpub. Basically, me and my best friend were just like, one day we're like, you know what? We've been playing games for years and years. We should just go out and make one. And we came up with something and said, what do we do now? And basically, he found out about one of the Unpub minis. And we ended up going to that, and we're like, wow, this is so much different than just sitting around and trying to play this card game that we made with each other over and over again. Like, this is actually trying to have other people play our game that, you know, don't know us, aren't trying to cater to us and whatnot. So that was my first involvement with Unpub, and basically I've been going to the Unpub events ever since.
That's awesome. So, and now, what does Unpub mean to you?
Well, having come into this, you know, with absolutely no experience, no expectations of you know, making games, the thing that I think is most that I can take away from the Unpub experience is, one, the quality of feedback that you get, because not only do you, like I said before, you have all these people who are coming and playing, so you have quantity of feedback, but you also have quality, because it's not only just you know, Joe Schmo gamer who comes and says, "Oh, I don't really like your game," but you also have, you know, people like you guys who come by and say, you know what, this would be great, but what if you had an auctioning component to the game? And you're like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. That would fit into the game so well. And it really builds that. And secondly, just the ideas that you come up with based on that. I think I have a notebook just full of game ideas that I want to take and build up based on things that I've come up with from talking with different designers and playtesters about things they liked about my games or things I liked about other people's games, and I just don't have enough time to even devote to the games that I already have, more or less going to try and make some of these others. But
yeah, so you're now prolific. So how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
Well, like I said, you know, making connections with different people. You know, the one game that we have out right now, Tornado, is almost fully TC's inspiration. A conversation between TC and Greg about throwing cards up in the air. Well, guess what? And it was like, oh, hey, well, I think we can do this. And we came up with a quick dexterity / solitaire type game for 2 players. And, you know, it was just something that happens because you make friends, you make connections, you know, you get good feedback from people that you like their games, they like your games. Maybe they don't like your games, and, you know, that's good feedback too. So it just basically the people that you make connections with, I think, is one of the most valuable things that I've gotten from the Unpub system.
That's excellent. So, cool. So, thank you. Now move on to the next on the line. We have Jason Tagmeyer. So Jason, what is your name and how have you been involved with Unpub?
Hey, my name's Jason Tagmeyer. I've been involved with Unpub since Unpub 2. I didn't really know anybody there. I just kind of talked to people on Twitter and stuff, and decided to take a plunge and drive down to Delaware for the day to that little VFW hall or whatever it was, and kind of just set up my games and get some people to play them. And it was different than anything I'd ever done before that. It was really cool. It was just a different thing with like really awesome feedback all in one place, and more importantly, I was getting to play other people's games and seeing what else was out there by other designers and things like that. So diving into that first Unpub made it so I said to myself, I have to go to every single Unpub from now on because it was great. So I went to Unpub 3, things were awesome there. I went to Unpub 4, things were awesomer there. So that's pretty much it.
And is that your bedroom that you're in?
I am in my bedroom, yes. And I came up here right as I came up here to do this. I saw that somebody did this today behind me. I was like, all right, that's cool.
I was like, that's awesome. It's an awesome background.
It wasn't there earlier.
So, what? And feel free to cry.
Pretty much, it's two things, and most of it's kind of been said. No, it's the best feedback you can get. There's no better place to get solid feedback from other designers, playtesters who are there with the intent to test games, not to buy games, not to play games that they already own, just to play new games. And the second side of it, it's just to play the best games of next year. Seeing what else is out there from other designers, and really just playing, the edgy new mechanics and new games that you'll see next year.
That's awesome. So also then, how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
Probably mostly just giving me a deadline. You're going to be up front and center in front of everybody on that day one of Unpub. So even with the minis, it's the time to finish my game and have it in front of everybody. The feedback I've gotten there have directly improved games, just somewhere on the fly because people had awesome ideas. So that's pretty much it.
That's cool. Oh, look. So we have Chris Kirkman. Chris Kirkman, who is a coming from a publishing perspective, who may not have actual sound. I don't know yet.
Do I have sound? Can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
There you go.
Excellent. So since you just popped on and you're next in the list, we get to blindside you.
Oh,
so, what's the best 7 games you played at Unpub?
All the Dice Hate Me titles.
Well, that works. All right, I can believe it. Okay, so let's do this. So 3 questions here. So, what is your name and how have you been involved with Unpub?
My name is Chris Kirkman. I am the founder and CEO of Dice Hate Me Games, and I've been involved with Unpub since really before Unpub 2. Met you, TC, through John Moeller, the original founder of Unpub, and that was between Unpub 1 and Unpub 2. Then met Daryl at Unpub 2. Ended up, of course, looking at several games, signing Compounded through that system. Unpub 3 ended up signing, Brewcrafters, Viva Java Dice, Bell the Ball. Unpub 4, again, tons of opportunities to sign games from that. So it's been great to be able to go give feedback to everyone, and not only that, but also a scout for the coming year for designs that are in prototype stage, but people are still working on and want feedback for.
Awesome. So what does Unpub mean to you?
Well, Unpub, as a gamer, not just necessarily as a publisher, I guess a little bit of both, but as a content creator, let's say that, and a content appreciator, Unpub means to me a place where like-minded individuals can get together, to hone their craft, to hone something that they've created. Unpub really, even though myself I use it as a place and an opportunity to sign games and to find for talent scouting, the most important thing for Unpub is that people get feedback through the system and make the games better. And that's one of the reasons why it's also good from a publishing standpoint, because any game that I know is going through the Unpub system has been seen by quite a few people, unsolicited playtesting, people who come in who are just interested in the process. And overall, what Unpub means to me as a gamer is that I usually can trust games that go through the Unpub system because I know they've been playtested extensively by peers and by just basic playtesters. And also as a publisher, Unpub means a lot to me because I know that I can depend on the not only quality but how committed the designer is to making sure that game is good.
And you just took that question away, but let me ask you it a different way. How has has Unpubbed helped you as to become a better publisher?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just been a great way for me as an independent publisher. I mean, I have some long-range plans. I meet people at conventions. I have ideas for games that I'd like to do or people I've talked to before. But Unpub is a great way for me as a publisher to show up at the beginning of the year and then see kind of what interests me for the next year and a half, and start to plan out. Well, this would be a great project to either Kickstarter or just create together. It's meant a lot to me. It's made my life a lot easier because I'm able to use it as sort of a planning stage. And now me talking about it right now, there are quite a few publishers who have started to show up to Unpub, and now that I'm putting it out there, of course, now every publisher is going to be like, hey, I need to be at Unpub because that way I can plan out the next year or two, snagging up all these really talented designers and games.
Well, there you go. So you're taking away the competition.
Well, I'll see if I can get another in. Maybe I'll bust some kneecaps before they come in the door or something.
We'll have the pre-Unpub.
Right.
All right. So we have to keep going, and since everyone else is gone, we have Daryl Lauder. So Daryl, what is your name, and how have you been involved with Unpub?
My name is Daryl Lauder. I've been involved with Unpub ever since it was the brainchild of John Moeller, back when I thought he was absolutely crazy for starting something called this, because I thought there was not a chance that anyone was coming to Delaware to play a prototype game and get feedback from other people, because it's Delaware, and once you've been here, as everyone here has been, you realize there's nothing in Delaware. Well, now there is. It's Unpub, and that's about it. But yeah. So ever since the first one, I helped John with marketing and getting that set up. That's where my very first game design was done for Unpub 1, and that was Compounded, which I nursed through 3 Unpubs. And Chris signed after 2. Thank you. And so 4 was right before 4 is when I took over as Unpub organizer, and as you can tell, somebody with a completely disastrous office as I have, the messier the office, the better the organization of an event. So there you have it. So that leads us up to today and right now.
Well, there you go. So what does Unpub mean to you?
Unpub means to me, not to sound corny, but Unpub to me means just friendship, camaraderie, networking. It's fun getting your game out and getting playtesting and all that, but any single game designer will tell you that it's not so much getting your game played, it's seeing people enjoy it or give you feedback to help you without them asking for anything in return. It's being friends with the people across the table and you just met them 5 minutes ago. It's just like this open, this is a private part of my life that I'm letting everyone in on, and you guys are giving me feedback and therefore encouraging that part of me to grow. And so Unpub to me is just, it's sharing, and yeah, there you go.
That works. So now, how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
I think Unpub has helped me become a better game designer. As Jason Tagmeyer put it, motivation. You can have ideas every now and then. You jot them down. Like you may have a red notebook of ideas, and you just jot an idea down. But when you realize, like, oh man, there's a mini 2 weeks away, or Unpub 5's in February. It's 2 months away. Well, that's like time to put your nose to the grindstone and just, work and work and work and work and work and work, and then to be able to have that product that you showcase off, it's really nice. So it kind of helps give that motivation and that drive to share your project, to share your work, to share your ideas. So it also helps with opening up a bit. So
well, there you go.
I like to think it's a social event that helps those that may be socially awkward. You don't need to be. You don't need to talk to roll dice. So no, but
if you're doing it right, you need to talk to roll some dice.
I know.
Thank you, Daryl. That's excellent. So I guess I'm going to put it back to me. Okay, so I've been doing this now for a few hours, and I had my air conditioning off, so you can see my hair is like this. But I guess now I have to do this. So somebody asked me these questions. So somebody asked me what my name is and how I've been involved with Unpub.
Oh, okay.
What's your name and how you've been involved?
All at once. All at once.
My name is TC Petty III, and I've been involved with Unpub since the pre-Unpub days. I met John Moeller at Congress of Gamers, which was a little convention before Unpub, and since then I went from Unpub 1 to Unpub 2 to Unpub 3 to Unpub 4, and I'll be going to hopefully every Unpub since, and that will ever be. I missed a lot of minis, but that's just that. But other than that, I go to as many events as I can because it's a really good spot to get feedback. Also, I've had now because of Unpub, I would say 4 games published. So yeah, really important for me. So now somebody asked me, what does Unpub mean to me?
Hey, TC,
what does Unpub mean to you? This is like the state of games. They're not talking over each other.
Yeah.
Wait, TC, what does Unpub mean to you?
Unpub for me, the most important thing about Unpub is that it's the most, it's the place where I can get unfiltered feedback from people. I can gain friends in the game design industry. I can network a bit and get my games out in front of people, but I do that myself. I get games in front of people and playtest. It's just the idea that now I can come to a place where some people know me from earlier Unpubs. I can show them not just as I build this community, I can show them progress. I can say, here's what my prototype was a year ago, especially if it's a larger game. Here's where it is now. What do you think about it now? And that really helps, especially if you go if I could go to more of these the mini events, and if there were which are just events that pop up everywhere in the country, I would be so much happier because I could get that steady concurrent feedback and maybe get 1 or 2 people that I know have played it before. They don't play it for 8 months. They have to reteach them and get that feedback again. So for me, Unpub is just that place not for me to really. I don't care about getting published at an Unpub event. That's not what I go to them for. It's the idea that I can get the feedback from people who know what they're doing, or at least have been through it, know what mistakes they've made, and I'm kind of feel like part of a community that will give me that feedback without having to worry about it. Although I have to kind of beat some people because people are nice to me now, and they shouldn't be nice to me. They should be mean and tell me my game sucks. But yeah. All right, so now somebody has to say, how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
Jason, I think it's your turn.
All right. How's Unpub made you a better game designer?
Unpub, I think really the most important thing that Unpub gives to me, or gives back to me, I guess, is just the idea that I have to. I was about to say I have to. I have to be humble, but I don't have to do that. No, it's learning to not be afraid to put something in front of people, because even when you've done this for a while, you are still afraid of putting that first or second prototype in front of people. And while I want to bring an Unpub ready, when I say something's ready, right, it's not necessarily the very first time I've played it. So I'll bring it maybe 3 or 4 playtests in, but for me it's just being that fear of that someone might really dislike it and that it'll get torn to shreds. And that's what I want, but I don't want it at the same time. So it's getting over that idea of just, I want really critical feedback, but I don't want my game, getting over that fear of putting it in front of people. So Unpub has really just made me get over that fear a lot, and I'm willing to put it in front of other people, and usually people are willing to just take that ride with me after they've known me for a while, so it's sweet. There you go. Thanks for helping me with my side of things. Is that Ben that's there? Is he almost visible?
I see his UCam, but
I'm trying to. Hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to get the camera to work.
So Ben Rossett, UCam 3.
Hey!
Hey, there we go.
Can you see me?
So yeah, I'm just popping the camera around. Hey, you made it just in time. I didn't know what we got. I didn't even do it myself because I thought it would be the end.
Everything that they said.
So, no, we get to go to you directly. So you get to be put on the spot.
Okay.
Ben, what is your name, and how have you been involved with Unpub?
My name is Ben Rossett. I've been bringing games to Unpub as a designer since Unpub 2, which was the first one that I was at. And I think I heard about Unpub, might have been from you originally, TC, when I met you at a game design thing at Glen Burnie Games and Stuff, like the summer before Unpub 2. And you told me about this cool thing called Unpub that was happening next year, and I was like, whoa, I'm going to go somewhere and there's going to be publishers there and they're going to be looking at games. That sounds cool to me. I want in on that. And so I came to Unpub 2, and that was my first experience with Unpub.
Excellent. So, in your words, what does Unpub mean to you?
Opportunity is the first word that comes to mind, and community is the second word. So it means both of those things. It means opportunity to show what you've got and to get your games published if that's what you're looking to do, and then just meeting all the other designers, and from like a networking perspective, but also from a just meeting other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and just connecting with other with other designers and other people in the gaming community, which has been just as meaningful as well about the Unpub program. And I love going. Like last year, I went to Unpub 4. Didn't really have anything particularly to pitch. I wasn't going there to try to get a game published, but I was going there to improve my designs, to get them tested, and just to see everybody again who I hadn't seen in a year. So.
Awesome. So, how has Unpub helped you become a better game designer?
Well, I'll tell one story. So last year at Unpub 4, I brought this game with me that I'm still working on called Building the British Royal Navy. It's a game about building warships for Britain in the 19th century. And like 4 guys tested the game the first night of Unpub, and it went all right. Obviously, the test didn't go that well. There were some things that were broken, some things that obviously needed changing. But they came back the next morning and they said, well, there was some really interesting stuff here, and we had some ideas last night. The same testers came back. And that next morning, whatever it was, the Saturday or Sunday, they sat with me for like 2 or 3 hours, really going over all kinds, workshopping all kinds of different ideas about the bidding system for this game. And when I left Unpub, that game was immeasurably better. Just because not other designers, not other publishers, just people that were there that love, you know, to play new games were there and were willing to spend that time and help me out. And so, you know, kind of learning how to sit and like really workshop through a lot of different ideas at the same time was a totally unexpected benefit of the last Unpub.
That's excellent. That's all. That's what it's about. So now, as we did in the last,
it's also helped me to learn how to pitch. It's also helped me to learn how to pitch, right? So that's really important too. So that when I go to, well, yeah, I mean, it is maybe more comfortable talking to publishers and trying to get publishers to play my games, and the environment is such a great environment that it's conducive to that, and that's what the publishers are there for. So it's a really easy way to kind of just learn how to approach publishers and learn how to pitch games.
That's excellent. So last video we did a thing at the end here. So I like to do the same thing, and that's the excited waving of games that you have in front of your face, so that you can show what you know, Unpub success stories for you, or games you've put through Unpub, and put them in front of the camera with your face. So I'm getting some.
Okay, wait, time out. I didn't know about this. Hold on.
I need a bigger camera.
Yeah, all right.
I have Mars. I'll put it Mars Needs Mechanics in the background here.
All right, I'll just get 3.
Here's that one. All right, Alvan. All right, I gotta man the camera here. All right. There we go. Oh, look, he's got the shiny paper, which we can't really see what it is.
Still in the wrap.
He's just no words, just saying it. Hey, it's tornado.
Just once. One tornado.
I played Tornado. It's fun.
Unpub success story.
Yeah.
Who else? All right, we have so many games going on.
Boxes are beer
We'll go to Ben. Ben first.
Are we saying what these are?
Yeah, you can say. You can yell. I don't care.
In my left hand is Mars Needs Mechanics, which was published last year by Nevermore Games, which I brought to Unpub 2 as the market. And in my right hand is Brewcrafters, which I brought to Unpub 3 as Brewcrafters, and played with Chris Kirkman at Unpub 3. And that's the first time that he saw Brewcrafters, and then he signed the game shortly after. And then behind Brewcrafters is Homebrewers, which is another beer game I'm working on, which I actually haven't brought to Unpubs yet, so maybe I should put that down. Okay. But I'll bring it to...
That's not Unpub tested.
Yeah, it's not Unpub tested. And a bunch more games that I didn't get off.
What else do we have? Jason?
Oh, I had to go find them. Pixel Lincoln. I tested it at one of the Unpub minis, Westchester. Got a lot of awesome feedback there. And then the Blue Noodle area of Origins 2012, I think I got the best feedback ever for the game 5 days before the Kickstarter launched, and made a massive change based off of that feedback directly. Set up the whole next morning, you know, in my hotel at like 5 a.m. and totally messed with the game. TC, you might have even been in that session that was just like,
at Origins?
So I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at Origins in the Blue Noodle. This one is Maximum Throwdown, which I played at Unpub 3 with the perfect crowd that kind of got AEG to notice it. Jeff Quick was there, but I played with him, Josh Edwards, and Jason Crignali, and it was loud, rowdy, lots of fun, and kind of really set the tone for the game. And I got talking with Jeff after that, who put me in touch with John Zinzer and everybody from AEG. So that worked out really well. And then this is 7 Sevens, which I brought to Unpub 4, and I played it a couple times, and beforehand I was talking to Griffin Games a little bit about just being there and just playing our games together, and Ralph was there. We got to meet up, play some games, and this seemed like it was right up his alley, so this one will be coming out, I guess, this year or next year. Those are my ones.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
3. What do you got, Carol? Oh, wait. Oh, look, that's another Dice Hate Me game.
I got
like, it's like one person keeps publishing all the games at the same convention.
Well, I will say he's not here, so I will bring this one up. This was by Jesse Catrone, and this was Salmon Run. And this was picked up at Eagle and Griffin, and he was at Unpub 2, and that was at the FOP Lodge in the middle of the woods. So, people go everywhere.
That's right. So, more success, and then of course me. I mean, I won this Xenon Island Award.
Now we know he will ask the question.
And I brought this to Unpub 4 with me, and now it's getting published.
I think once you win one of those awards, you've officially graduated from the Unpub program, right? You can never bring a game back with you.
I think that's what they say, but I keep coming. I keep coming anyway, and then the twins.
I like how the one's upside down.
There you go.
Nice.
So yeah. So the twins, Viva Java production, all Unpub stuff. This is amazing. But I get to do this in both videos, so that's awesome.
Now, if I could say something, I haven't designed a game.
Go for it.
But from the other end of the spectrum, if you will, I believe that Unpub, as Ben had said, community is important. And coming from being a convention owner in the Midwest, having a presence and a little Grand Con action there, but having an Unpub Midwest build is a phenomenal opportunity for other designers in the area that can't make it out to Delaware or other parts of the country. So as we build up that momentum, Unpub to me is an opportunity to say that besides the 1,000 board games that are sitting in my basement that I play quite a bit, you guys bring about an inspiration of design, creativity, and just admiration as far as what others may want to do at some point, to carry that torch on. Because as we go on, Chris, designer, now publisher, you've taken a lot of steps, and all you guys have done a phenomenal job. It's you need a little pat on your back or a big hug, whichever it may be. I'm a hugger, so you guys all need a nice round of applause for what you've done, because it's not easy work, especially with our normal daily lives, right? So I'm glad to be here representing Grand Con and the opportunity to represent Unpub as well, and give you guys an opportunity to have another venue, a great place to be at to show off your wares.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate the invite, so thanks.
Time to take over the world with game design.
In 4 turns or less.
I'm going to make you a chain rope necklace for your plaque there, TC, so hang that around.
Woo! Oh, look, he's holding up Brewcrafter's box.
Right there.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that, Ben.
Wait. We're not done. How's that?
That one? I haven't seen that.
We haven't seen that before, have we?
No, I haven't seen that.
That was weird. There's a lot of glitter, but it's compounded.
And I would hold up a lot of the other rabbits, but they're all on loan right now. But there's Brian Fisher's Pie Factory.
Nice.
Unpub alumni.
Nice.
And there's even more. I just can't get to them right now.
Yeah. So many. So unless we have more crazy things to hold up in front of the camera, which I'm sure we could do this for hours, I think we're gonna wrap it up here and just say thanks for everybody for coming out. Now there's Kermit. Thanks for everybody for coming out. It's been great, and thank you for giving the feedback. We'll be using this for as much as we can, and it's been excellent getting the feedback from you guys. So thank you so much, and we're out here.